Hello, I wanted to make a video that recaps all of the multiplication with fractions that we've covered in this unit. So there are three types of numbers that we're multiplying fractions by, and those are whole numbers, other fractions, and mixed numbers, even mixed numbers times mixed numbers. And we'll see that that is actually the same as multiplying fraction by fraction. So starting off, whole number times a fraction. So this is whole numbers times fractions. Everything will be dealing with fractions. So when you want to multiply a whole number, let's say 4 times 3/4, what do? You multiply the whole number by the numerator and then simplify if it can be simplified. This is also the same as multiplying fractions, as if I change 4 to 4/1, keep the other one the same. You multiply across the top and you multiply across the bottom. Multiply the numerators and you multiply the denominators. Keep the fraction bar there, you get 12/4. Same thing here, if you multiply the whole number by the numerator, you'll get 12/4. That can be simplified to 3. So this is saying two things. Since multiplication is commutative, the order can switch. So this actually represents two problems. This is saying, what is 3/4 of 4? That's the answer to that question. And it's also saying, what is 4 times 3/4? If I add 3/4 4 times, I'll get 3. And if I take 3/4 of 4 of something, I'll have 3 also. So it can represent two types of problems. And we'll see that that's how multiplication works. Same as 2 groups of 3 or 3 groups of 2 can be represented by 2 times 3. When you're doing fractions, that's saying fractions times fractions. That's a fraction of another fraction. So what is 3/8 of 2/5? I picked some challenging ones here because I think we have the hang of this. So when you're saying a fraction of a fraction, that's multiplying. So that's 3/8 times 2/5. And when you multiply fractions, you multiply numerators and you multiply denominators. So 3 times 2 is 6, and the denominators is 8 times 5, which is 40. Since both of these numbers in my fraction are even, I know that you can divide by 2 to make it a little bit more simplified. So now I divide by 2. That's what I did here. So 6 divided by 2 gave me 3. 20 divided by 2 gives me 20. And now it's in simplest form. They're both equivalent fractions. They're both right. Sometimes the question may ask for it in simplest form. So 3/20 cannot be simplified anymore because they don't have a common factor between them. That the factors of 3 are just 3 and 1, and 3 is not a factor of 20, so it can't be simplified anymore. The last example here is when you have a mixed number, so like 1/2 times 4, saying I have something that's 1.5 feet. I have a board that's 1.5 feet long, and I have 4 of them. How long would all 4 boards be? Well, you can do this even on a number line. You could start at 0. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the first board would go to 1.5. The second board would go another 1.5, so it would go to there. Third one would go another 1.5, and the last one would go another 1.5. So there is a way that you can draw this out, but we can do this using the multiplication of fractions also. That a whole number is a type of fraction. A mixed number can be written as an improper fraction. So one way I look at a mixed number, to convert it to a fraction, I kind of look at it as an addition problem where I'm adding 1 and 1/2 together. But you can't just add fractions together unless they have common denominators. So 1, I want to add 1 to 1/2. Well, I need it to have a denominator of 2 in order to add them. So 1 is also 2/2. Now that they have common denominators, 2/2 plus 1/2 is 3/2. So I just rewrote that mixed number as an improper fraction. So 3/2 times 4, and I'm going to change this to 4/1 to keep the same pattern of multiplying fractions, and we get 12, and 2 times 1/2. They're both even. I can divide by 2. So I get 6/1, which is just 6, same as the picture up top. All right, one last scenario I wanted to cover is, let's say you're eating cereal and the serving size is 1 1/3 cups, and you ate 1 3/4 servings. How many cups did you eat? So this is still groups and amount in each group. So let's say here's your bowl of cereal, and this bowl of cereal is 1 serving, 1 1/3, and then you ate 3/4 of a bowl of cereal. So you ate like most of the second one. You ate the first one, and then most of the second one. You ate 3/4 of the second one. And this, if you ate the whole bowl, it would be 1 1/3 plus 1 1/3. But now we have 1 1/3 plus 3/4 of one of these servings. So how could we figure out how many cups you ate? Well, we're multiplying two numbers, two mixed numbers, and those mixed numbers could also be written as improper fractions, and we know how to multiply fractions. So let's try to convert them to the mixed numbers to fractions, then multiply the fractions. So 1 1/3 is the same thing as 1 is the same as 3/3, or 1 whole, plus 1/3 that you have left over. So this is the same thing. I just broke it up and said that's 3/3, this is 1/3, so that is equivalent to 4/3. 1 1/3 is 4/3. So I'm multiplying 4/3 times, let's do the same thing here. This time I'm going to do fourths. So this is 4/4 because the fraction is in fourths, and you can't add fractions together without common denominators, so I needed fourths. Now I can add them and I get 7/4. So 4/3 times 7/4 gives me 28/12. Both even numbers in my fraction, so I know I can divide by 2 on the top and the bottom, and I'd get 14/6. Well, they're both even again, so I can divide by 2, and I'm dividing both numbers by 2. Make that a little clearer. So 7/3 cups. So going back to the question, how many cups did I eat if I ate 1 3/4 servings of cereal, that each serving was 1 1/3? Well, I ate 7/3 cups, or if I put it back into a mixed number form, it would be 2 whole servings, 2 whole cups, and 1/3 of a cup. All right, so that covers everything with multiplying fractions, from multiplying fractions by whole numbers, fractions of a fraction, and also mixed numbers. All right. If you guys have any questions, send me a message. I'll do my best to try to answer it.